Okay, welcome to the Lobo podcast. Today we have Evelyn Troutman, really funny comedian out of Chicago, out of Ohio, in Chicago. First saw her doing a bit about some dude who said, hey, I can't get you pregnant because I only have one kidney. And she went into an awesome, funny song about it. Anyways, I guess it's considered alt comedy, but she's funny. She majored in neuroscience. She had an eating disorder. She was actually in recovery in March, got back into it, still in it. We talk about that, body dysmorphia, what we would do if we win the lottery. There's a tampon story. We learn about more about lamichoacana, but again, I recorded the People of Comedy Studio with James Webb. If you want a podcast, hit him up. Follow the Lobo Podcast on IG, the Lobo Podcast. Give me a rating on iTunes, and I will read it for you. If you want stickers, DM me. I'll send you stickers. Importantly, if you like the podcast, you think somebody's going to like it, tell a friend. Okay, Lobo Den. Okay, welcome to the Lobo Den Podcast. I'm going to say my name. I usually don't. My name is Josiah Diaz. I'm your host today. We are at the People Economy Studio with James Webb. What's up, James?
Not much, man. How are you?
Not much. I'll plug him in the beginning. That sounded a little bit weird, no?
I'll take it.
All right.
I'll take your plug.
You'll take my plug.
Yeah, baby.
But look, he has the SMB 7 mics. He has the best studio in Chicago, right? For podcasting. Is there somebody else?
I'll let you say that. No,
Okay.
there's no one else. I'm the one.
Okay, I'm no. If
Come
not,
to your show here, please. Give me money.
Please, give him money and come to your show. And you know what? I'll ask you this later, but I was having not an argument, but I do this. What would you do if you won the lottery?
Yeah.
And one of them was I told him, look, I wouldn't quit my job and I'd still do the podcast here. I mean, I get a new house and studio, but I still do here to support. So
thanks, man.
And that's $200 million net after taxes. I would still do it at the studio, guys. So
you know what? Let me build you a studio with your money.
We'll cross that bridge when I get there.
Okay.
If I win but I refuse to buy a lottery ticket. So my friend's like, why are we having this conversation?
Yeah, why are we even talking about this?
But anyways, today, more importantly, we have Evelyn Troutman as our guest. Hi, Evelyn.
Hello.
Hello. Before we started, she asked me a question, and then I stopped her from talking to me, so you can ask me on air.
Yeah. I asked, how did you find me? Which sounds a little weird, but no, yeah. Why did you ask me to be on?
I asked her to
podcast?
be. So I've had you on not a short list, a list, right? You know when I had you. Sometimes I write down lists because bookers ask me for features. Like there's a guy named Crane's Butter, and there's other people that'll ask me. They'll ask me for
Crane's
stuff.
Butter, yeah.
You do a show? You do a Crane show?
No, he messaged me to be on some show that was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, of course. That's what he
does.
does.
And he was kind of pushy about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's Crane's. And he was probably drunk.
So I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know who he was either.
No. And
And I don't have a car.
No.
And it was, yeah.
But hey, he probably got your name through me.
Okay.
So sorry but
No, now I finally solved that mystery of my life.
the Crane's Butter mystery.
Yeah.
I wonder where the show was. But yeah, he has those. And he'll get drunk and then he'll start fighting with people he's booked on DM a little bit. I've never had that, but he's gotten it with other people.
Okay.
Shout out to Crane's. Anyways, where was it? I would see you at Mike's like a pressure, right?
Oh,
when it was at Logan. We were doing a mic at Logan, right? At Logan.
Logan Square Improv?
Yeah, Logan Square. I went to go do the mic. I saw you there, and you did your bit where I don't even want to call it. It is a bit. I don't know. You do comedy. You do stand-up comedy, but there's other stuff you do. I don't want to say the word alternative. Have people? Do you label yourself that, or people label you that?
Yeah, I kind of got characterized as an alt comic.
But you're funny though.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do like alt comedy a lot. I mean, there's a lot of unfunny alt comedy, but there's a lot of unfunny every comedy.
Yes,
so,
that's true.
I guess what I do is alt.
Oh, because you were doing a bit with jokes about some guy you were dating, and you guys were taking pills or talking about drugs, and then you went into. So in the bit, he asked you. He wanted to have sex. He didn't have a condom, right? Is that what happened?
No. Well, he probably didn't because that didn't even come up. But
okay.
I told him that I didn't want to have sex because I wasn't on birth control.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he said to you that it's okay because he only has one kidney. Is
Yeah.
that okay?
Yes.
And then you went to song and dance and I was like kind of blown away. It's like, oh, this is a little different, so interesting. She's like singing, and then it was cool, and I was like, and then I was drawn in. I was like, oh, I'm an Evelyn Troutman fan. Troutman, am I saying it right?
Yes, like the fish.
So like the fish.
Mhm.
Oh, I like fish. Are you vegan? We'll get into that later.
Okay.
Anyways, there's a whole thing there. But anyways, I saw you there, and I was like, oh, she's good. She's talented. It was different. It was interesting, and I was like, whoa. And then at the time, I was thinking, did the guy really say that?
He said, so he said, it's okay, I can't have kids anyway because I only have one kidney.
Now, is that true?
Is it true that he only has one kidney, or is that anatomically correct?
Like, is it true if you only have kidney, you can't get chicks pregnant?
I want to say no, but I never actually looked it up.
What does the kidney do? Anybody know? I don't know. I know. Is it for drinking? No, that's a liver.
I think it like filters stuff though, because you don't need both of them, but you need at least one.
We have 2 kidneys. I know because of, right?
Yeah, you have 2 kidneys.
Do we have 1 liver?
1 liver. You have 1 gallbladder. The gallbladder you don't need.
Oh, my friend lost her gallbladder.
Yeah,
so she can't have pork rinds.
She can't have pork rinds?
Or like fatty foods because it goes right through her.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I know about the gallbladder. And I think my other buddy, he lost his gallbladder too.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, but he's
lots of loss in
he's
friends' lives.
Yeah, he's an aggressive person. Like he aggressively like would party and do drugs and eat and lost his gallbladder. I'm pretty sure, unless I made it up. He had a kidney stone. I don't know.
Okay. Well, that would be kidneys.
So that's how I found you.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So I was like seeing you and I would see you because that's when I see your pressure. But then I saw you like when you first came. When did you come to Chicago? You're
September 2018.
September 2018. We're in
2
2020.
years ago.
2 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
From Ohio.
From Columbus, Ohio. Yeah.
What's Richmond, Ohio? That's your hometown?
Richfield.
Oh.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of farms.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my hometown.
What did your parents do? Were they farmers or?
No, my dad's like his title is curtain wall designer, but it's curtain wall designer. So like not windows, but like the stuff around windows, which somebody has pointed out to me before is just drywall, but I don't know why he never described it that way. And so he's basically an architect.
Okay.
And my mom works in the school system.
Okay. Was your mom your teacher, or she's like an administrative person?
No,
boss?
she's a secretary. She was a stay-at-home mom when I was like really little.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why'd you come to Chicago? Did you start stand-up because you were trying to do improv and you failed a class or something, or I don't know, or they didn't let you in?
Yeah. Who told you that? Man, you've been doing research.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So I was in college at Ohio State. I studied neuroscience.
Because of the CTE?
The CTE?
That's the brain thing, right? That the football players get to help the football players not get brain damage? Is that what you
CT
studied?
scan?
What is CTE? Is that disease where degenerative... Am I making things up?
No, you're on the money.
Yeah.
The thing where Junior Seau blew his head off. And this one Bears player.
I think your letters are...
Chronic traumatic encephalopathy.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, no, our entire football team definitely had that, but I didn't really care. I didn't go to any of the football games, or I went to half of one my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, no, I really wanted to get into improv. So there were 2 improv teams at Ohio State you had to audition for. Them both, you had to audition to get into them.
Okay.
And I did, and I got rejected, I think 3 different semesters, and then I saw there was a stand-up comedy club, so I was like, okay.
Well, club?
Yeah, it was like a student organization,
okay.
So we like met in a classroom, and it was like a joke workshop.
Okay.
And then, like, from there, like, sometimes people would go out to, like, mics and stuff in the city.
Were these all, like, amateur? Was there, like, one leader that had experience or somebody who taught the class? So this is not a class. It's like a club. So these are kids that want to do stand-up?
Yeah, it was like a student org. So it was all undergrads. And there was, we had, like, leadership. Like, we had a president and a VP and stuff.
What made him the president? Did he have any experience to be president, or just?
Well, actually, her. But she was in it the longest at that time.
In the club or doing stand-up?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, usually the people who were on the exec board like went out to mics pretty regularly. But anybody could be in the club. And
That's
come
in
to the
Columbus,
meetings.
right? Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio,
Right.
yeah. And then that's how I got started in stand-up. That was the winter of 2015. And then I just kept doing it more and more throughout college. And then by the time I had like one semester of college left, I didn't even really want to do anything related to my major. I just wanted to do stand-up. So
Neuroscience, right? Why'd you pick neuroscience?
well, a few different reasons. Everybody in high school and middle school, everybody was like, first of all, everybody's like, you're smart, go to college. So I was like, okay. And then everybody's like, you're a girl, go into the STEM field. So I was like, okay. And neuroscience.
The STEM field, your neck or something? The
STEM,
brain stem? I don't know what the STEM field is.
STEM field is science, technology, engineering, and math.
I have no
so
idea.
like,
wow.
yeah, it's.
I have a Bachelor of Arts, but sorry.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a useless acronym.
Okay.
But and so neuroscience was the most interesting of the sciences because I really like psychology.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I picked that.
And then did you finish school or you just stand pulled you in? You finished, right?
I finished, yeah. I got my bachelor's in neuroscience and I had a couple minors as well in clinical psychology and critical and cultural theory.
And then you were doing stand up. So in the
stand-up.
Columbus scene, or did you go to other places outside Ohio?
Just
Ohio.
Columbus. Yeah, I did maybe a couple shows like more in the suburbs, but not very often.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at that time, was it just straight stand up, or you started developing your, I don't know, we'll call it alternative
Alternative
style, or what?
My alter ego. It was just stand up. I didn't start doing rap. Rap was the first.
Oh yeah, you rap too.
Yeah, rap was the first like non-strict stand-up that I incorporated into my act, and that started.
How'd that start? You just decided to do a rap song, or?
That was actually inspired by Tinder.
Really?
Yeah, so I was on.
It was the second person on this podcast that got a song inspired by Tinder.
Oh, really?
Really?
Who's the other person?
Ariel Julie. Yeah, she started some Tinder hookup song.
Okay.
She started here, and now she's on OnlyFans. But
Okay.
yeah,
Good for her.
yeah, she made she's
You
making cake.
You can make a lot of money.
Yeah, you can. She was telling me that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, if I knew how to twerk, I would totally be on that.
So I'm sorry, you were inspired. Your rapping. Career?
Yeah. So I think I was like kind of depressed in college. So whenever I would get like bored, I would go on Tinder just to like do bits and like harass people.
This is a thing. I have other friends that do this. Maybe it's a depression thing. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, either that or like a psychopath thing. But I went on there and I wrote my bio as a rap. And then
Do you remember some of the bits of your bio or no? You don't have to rap it, but some of the verses.
Well, I remember the actual song that was inspired by that. I'm looking for a moody, rude dude, asks for nudes. Oh, fuck. It's hard without the beat, but
yeah.
that's how it starts. And yeah, so then that just kind of like, I don't know, then I got bored with all the people on there and they were all creepy, so I deleted that app. But then I decided to like make it into a rap. And at that point I like was not doing well like with my mental health, but this was like one thing that I was really interested in, so I kind of just like focused super hardcore on it. I think this was in the spring of 2017.
The stand-up rapping.
Yeah, and I started doing it at open mics, and first of all, when I started doing stand-up, I was so bad. I was horrible. Like, I don't even remember my first 10 times on stage. I think I blacked out because I was so nervous. And then when I started doing rap, I was also horrible because I also, like, decided to make my own beat using...
How'd you make the beat?
Oh, fuck. It was some, like...
Beatbox, or this is a little...
No.
A digital device?
I made it on some like free program I found online and then just like downloaded it and had it on my phone, and I would hook my phone up using like an aux. But yeah, so I don't even remember which I think I did the rap first, and then I made the beat around the rap. And then but like the rap was like way too, the beat was like way too fast at first. So there was like a lot of trial and error, but I just started doing it at Mike's in Columbus. People in Columbus have seen this rap like over like 50 times probably because I did it so many times. But yeah, that's when I started doing the rap stuff. So that was before I moved to Chicago, and then I moved to Chicago in September of 2018. And
Before you moved, you were on your own, living on your own with your parents, or I don't know where anything is.
yeah,
Are you still in Columbus?
no, my parents live about 2 hours from Columbus, 2 hours north. So I wasn't living with them. Because I graduated in December of 2017, and then I was living on my own for about 9 months. I was working as a server in 2 different bars, which I fucking loved, but was also toxic.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never worked in the. James, did you work in the food industry? I know Dane Cook just tweeted about it or on Instagram because Waiting is out on Netflix now.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
haven't watched that, but
Oh, you're still waiting for me? No, I was never like a server or anything.
No, never in the food industry. I know
No.
people.
I've worked at bars and restaurants, but only as like a manager, never handling food and shit.
oh, interesting. You like skipped the.
Yeah.
You went straight to
Ladder.
management?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, this is what I noticed from people that I have friends who are bartenders or in the biz, right? A lot of drug use, and everybody was having sex with each other. I don't know. Is that what was going on? Not in the tone?
That's what I did. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that is the
Because a
extent
lot of
of what's
cash,
going on.
right?
Oh yeah, it's like a lot of cash.
And then like 4 people might have to have drugs on them that are selling.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody has weed on them all the time.
Oh,
'cause
weed
it's like
too,
a
yeah.
high stress job. I never did. I only did weed. I never did coke. Thank
Okay,
God.
yeah.
Or else I'd probably be dead. But I get addicted to things very easily. But yeah, no, I hooked up with. I think I was hooking up with 2 different people that I worked with at the same time, and I was trying to keep them. Well, one of them knew about the other one, but the more insecure one, I was like really trying to keep from finding out.
Did he ever
about
find
me.
out?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't talked to him in like he's the kidney guy. I haven't talked to
kidney
him.
guy,
yeah,
right?
I
Yeah.
haven't talked to him in maybe like 2 years.
Because he has 1 kidney.
Yeah, now I'm prejudiced against people with 1 kidney.
They can't give you a baby, so I don't know.
Well, that's actually preferable.
You don't want kids?
I don't know.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm almost 26,
Okay.
so 25.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I don't think it kicks in yet. I think I got 4 years before that. What I've noticed from my friends is it starts kicking in the biological clock. So right now I don't. Yeah, like there's a bunch of people that don't want, and it starts kicking in. Like mine kicked in 2 years ago, but it's gone.
Oh, okay. How old are you? Like
36. I'm 10 years
okay.
older. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now you don't want any kids, right? With anybody with 1 kidney at least.
Yeah, no. I'm still figuring out how to take care of myself right now, and I'm like so focused on like what I want to do with my life. I don't know. Kids just isn't really a part of that.
Good.
So, yeah. Plus,
like
the world's like gonna end soon anyway, so like I don't see the
it's
point.
gonna really. I thought it was gonna get better now or something, right? How do you feel? How have you been during this? Is this even? I don't know. I live in the suburbs, so it's kind of normal over there for me a little bit. Like my life hasn't changed much during all of this quarantine stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
I've been like about, I go out less, which is good because I don't have to spend any money.
Yeah.
I don't go to bars and restaurants as much, but no, you were all right. So you were not bartending. You were waiting. You were waiting in Ohio. That was fun.
Waiting tables. Yeah. They started training me behind the bar at the first place. Which made the insecure guy even more insecure because he.
What was he? Were you guys at the same level? He was
we were both servers.
Okay.
But he was like a raging alcoholic in denial and also a cokehead. So I mean, I guess
Typical
they like
biz,
didn't
yeah.
trust him. I don't know, but I mean, I had my own shit, but I didn't. Yeah.
do coke at least.
Yeah.
But it can make you more productive. Some people.
It can. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's a very expensive habit though. But
Yeah, people spend a lot of money on coke. I don't,
Yeah.
but they do. I watch them. I was like, how are they spending so much? It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually only seen people do coke, I think, one time.
How did they do it? Was it a line or was it?
I think
a
it was
bump,
I think it was a line. It was with the kidney guy was there, and then some other people that I worked
Is
with.
this like at a after work party or is it at the
Afterward,
restaurant? Okay.
yeah, I think so, because I think we went to like a bar after we got off, and then after that we like went to somebody's. We were up until like 9 a.m.
And you were up until 9 without doing coke?
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
I mean, I have a lot of anxiety.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah.
So you can't sleep anyways. All right.
Yeah, so I don't need coke. But yeah, they all did coke. I didn't. I just watched because I was curious.
Did you feel nervous when them pulling the coke out in front of you, or?
No,
first time?
actually, I think I was just very naive. I also thought at that point I was just out of college, so I was like, wow, this is like. Now I'm a real
stuff.
adult.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is what
yeah,
adults
yeah.
do.
That's an
yeah.
adult drug. That's happened to me the first time I saw it. I was like, whoa, like I didn't think it was real.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it was. I mean, they were all just throwing like 50s and 100s on the table and like to like pay for it or whatever. 'Cause everybody had cash, and then they did coke, and then
Did they talk to you afterwards? Did you notice a difference in their demeanor?
Not really.
No.
Yeah.
Because they probably always do coke anyways. I don't know if.
Yeah, they were.
So they already have coke personality.
Yeah. I really didn't notice a difference. I think I was just, I don't know. I was just happy to be there.
Oh.
Weirdly, because
Okay.
I was like, it was not a safe environment.
No.
Like none of the
Well,
stuff
these were your considered your friends.
These were my friends, yeah. But I one of them still hits me up every once in a while. I think he's actually the one who looked out for me.
Okay.
There was one dude that I worked with who really looked out for me. And he actually gave me a ride home that night. So he's a good dude. His name is Patty. But yeah, the rest of them I haven't really heard from, which is fine. I mean,
and then that's when what made you make the move? So So you're around people doing coke.
Yeah.
You have anxiety.
Yeah.
And you want to go to Chicago?
Yeah. I was actually working so much that I kind of stopped doing stand-up because, like, serving gave me such a high. Because, like, I don't know, you get to, like, fuck around with people and you're, like, making bank if you're working in a good place. And, like, I got, like, pretty good at it. And so I'm like, damn, like, I don't even want to do shows. I'd rather work. So I was working a lot.
What were you doing with your money? Was it productive or?
I was spending some of it on alcohol, but I was saving a decent amount. Actually, yeah, so I saved a bunch of money, and that's basically how I've been supporting myself the last 2 years here after I moved, because I really haven't had, like, a steady job. But, yeah, so I decided to move to Chicago because a small group of my friends from the stand-up comedy club all wanted to move because it's, like, the next step, I guess, into, like, whatever we're all trying to do here. So I was like, well, I could never really see myself doing this on my own, so I might as well go when my friends are going. But then, like, a few of them dropped out, so it ended up just being 3 of us who moved together. Yeah, so I kind of just went with them.
Before you came, did you do rehab before you came?
Yeah, so I went to rehab.
But it's not drug rehab, right?
No, it's
for eating disorder, right? Okay.
Yeah, eating disorder rehab. Yeah, ED. I like saying that because people think erectile dysfunction. Like,
right?
I went to rehab for my erectile dysfunction.
And coke can give you an erectile dysfunction if you do too much. You can't get it up.
Oh, that's true. I mean,
fact.
eating disorders can give you erectile dysfunction too because it, like, your hormones lower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's what is eating. There's different versions of eating disorders. Is it just not eating, stopped eating, or?
So I have anorexia, so that's the one where you, like, stop eating.
Okay.
Although that's, like, a very generic description of it. Even within, like, anorexia, like, everybody's eating disorder looks, like, slightly different. But there's bulimia, that's where you throw up. There's binge eating disorder where you binge. And then there's
binge eating. I know binge eaters. Closet eater. I think closet eater, right? The binge eaters do closet eating, right? Where I know he does. He, like, hides.
Oh,
Like he'll
yeah.
mute me, right? And I'm the phone. And I was like, did he? Hello? And I was like, and then what happened? Then I find out later he was in 2 drive-throughs and didn't tell me or something like that.
Yeah.
So, all the
No,
time.
yeah, it's
yeah.
hard because people have so much shame around like their behaviors. Yeah, and then there's eating disorder not otherwise specified, called EDNOS.
What's that?
Basically just everything else. There's a lot more subcategories now. The DSM has gotten a lot more inclusive, I guess. Yeah,
When'd yours start? How old were you? Or
uh
do you remember how it started? There was like a point where it kind of starts, or do you remember? Or
yeah, so I always had like ever since I was little, I always had kind of weird stuff with food. Like I wasn't like especially picky or anything, but I had like food rituals that I would do. Like I would eat stuff in very specific ways. I think because it like just like gave me like comfort, and it was like a way for me to like
what was one of the rituals? I have a little ritual, but I don't know if it's the same. Like I eat separate. You know what I mean? I don't mix my food sometimes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I eat this versus this.
Yeah.
What were your rituals? Do you remember?
I think this is kind of gross, but I would take whenever I would eat goldfish, I would like so you have
the crackers.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have the goldfish, and then you I would bite it like
Down the
slice it down the middle, so it was basically like a fish, but you could like see the inside, like 2 halves like that. And then I would chew up the 1 half and then spit it back out into the other half.
Okay.
Into like the little cave. And then
Okay.
I would eat that, but then like sometimes I would like take another one and then spit all of that back out and then like I don't know, it was this weird like spitting goldfish inception thing. I just thought it tasted good. But,
Okay. So all right, you had a like legit reason for it. It was a taste better, it was a texture thing.
Yeah, and I think it also, I don't know, my eating disorder serves a lot of different functions, but I think one of them is to like manage my emotions. So whether it's like boredom or like anxiety or whatever, like I think
Like
that
you
was-
anxiety, you just stop eating, or
No, I think when I have anxiety, I just try to like really like control my food. So I never really stopped. I've never completely stopped eating. For a variety of reasons. When my eating disorder like got like when the anorexia, excuse you, when the no, it's fine. That was a very subtle burp. When the anorexia like got like started, I was 13, and my parents like noticed it before I did. I was in denial for like maybe a year or two. So they would just make me eat. But yeah, so I never really, I think I would have completely stopped eating at that point. But
what did they notice? Like
they noticed that I just I started like turning down food more.
Were they structured like 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, or not? I guess you're at school, right?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
at school.
Did you guys eat dinner together, like at a table, like they do on TV? When I see white people, they all eat together and they talk to each other. It's cool.
Yeah.
Is that how you guys ate?
Yeah,
All right, that's
yeah.
different
Most
for
of
me.
the time.
I never really had that.
What did you guys just like?
I don't know, like kind of ate. The food was there, and somebody
Mm-hmm.
would go, and I'd grab my food. I usually don't even sit down and eat. I'm always,
Mm.
I never sit down and eat actually, unless I go to a dinner.
Okay.
And then I eat food cold sometimes a lot, because I'll go and it's on the like beans will be on the stove top,
Mm-hmm.
and it's more out of laziness for me. Like I don't feel like heating it up, and I start
Yeah.
getting to it,
Yeah.
and then by the time I know I've eaten a good amount of food without heating anything up, it's more
Yeah.
like I
That's
don't know.
efficient.
It's efficient. But you guys, so I would see people eating together and talking to each other, like Will Ferrell when he yelled at his family in Saturday Night Live, like that. I was like, oh, they're eating together and talking to each other. It's like I remember.
Yeah.
I didn't have like grace. I didn't say that. Did you guys say grace before food?
No, we did not. My mom took us to church, but my dad was always like secretly a-religious,
Okay.
but not. I don't know. But yeah, so we weren't like a super religious household.
So they started noting. All right. So you guys are eating together.
Yeah,
Beautiful, like,
and
family.
I would be fine at dinner. I would eat my dinner, but I just I wouldn't eat really any snacks. I just thought because I don't know, I was in middle school. I was everybody was self-conscious, and then my friends were always talking about like dieting and stuff, and so not always, but like
Oh, really? In middle school? That's a woman thing, right? Because I don't remember. James, do you remember any? I don't remember dieting in middle school. Anybody talking about that? No, not at all. Okay, so I've.
Yeah, well, it wasn't like outright dieting, but it was a lot of diet culture talk. Like,
Really?
oh, this is so bad for you, or oh, like I
Wait,
shouldn't.
when did you go to middle school? Maybe because
there's a 10-year gap. I think that
Okay.
just might be how it is now.
maybe it might be a generational thing because you guys had the internet,
Yeah,
right?
I
And
think
more
I was.
social.
Yeah, I mean.
Did you have social media when you were in middle school?
Yes, unfortunately.
I have no idea
yeah.
how that- oh,
No. Yeah,
wow.
I think that's part of what fucked me up.
I have no idea what that's like. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had MySpace like
when
early college.
was MySpace? We had MySpace what, like
I was like in
2008
college
or something?
Yeah, college. When I started getting MySpace.
Okay.
Do you know
okay.
what MySpace is?
I never. I do know what it
I'm
is. I
sorry.
never had it. I never
well,
had
grab
it.
bunch of body. No.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
oh my God! So social media, right? So you guys communicated with each other on what was it? Was it Facebook or?
Well, yes and no. So I was like one of the only people I knew who had Facebook. So I would just basically write statuses that nobody would respond to. Like
Okay.
I don't know why I even had Facebook. I just I had a few
It's like
friends.
letters to Santa.
Yeah, I don't know. I would just post updates about whatever it was I was doing. So like I was 13, 14. I don't know why I was doing this. And it was always the same thing every day, like going for a run with my dog, text me later, blah blah blah. Which like I don't know. I just like saw somebody else write something like that, so that's why I did that. Because like nobody ever texted me. I didn't really want anybody
Oh, so
to.
and you had a cell phone too. I didn't have a cell phone until like in high school, I think.
Okay.
Or after high school. I had I was the first one with a cell phone. It was a little flip phone, a Sprint one, so there's no digital screen. Smartphone, is that what they're called? So I didn't have that. But then I didn't have a cell phone. And then when everybody had a cell phone, I didn't have one. And for 2 years, I used my friends' cell phones to call and talk to
Okay.
girls. And finally, they just cut me off, and I bought one because they're like, "This
Okay.
isn't." Because I'd be like, whoever girl I talked to would have. There were like 3
Oh,
numbers.
that's awkward.
So
Yeah.
so I would
yeah.
use other people's numbers, like pay phones, and then finally
Okay.
they had enough, and they're like, "Giovanni, buy a phone, stop being so cheap," and I got one. But no, you guys were talking about dieting and
Well,
or
yeah,
like you were saying like that
like-
had macros. That's what it's called now, macros.
I don't
Macros
I don't
is
know
like
what
is that?
but-
Carbs, proteins,
Oh,
which I
carb,
know about
protein,
now.
fat.
Yeah.
like the 3 fuel groups.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, they would. I mean, there was just like a lot of diet culture, like talk and just
Was your school mostly white?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So it was like a mixture of like
Have you seen Mean Girls?
I have.
Was
yeah.
anybody in that school like
Kinda.
plasticky? Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we definitely had the popular kids.
We were pink
They were
on
all-
Wednesdays.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were all super hot. I wasn't friends with any of them, but yeah. So I started trying to eat healthier. So I
Okay.
just like wouldn't eat like what I considered junk food, but then I was eating less because I didn't like. And then I also had a growth. I was an athlete, so I was in
Would you play?
cross country and swim team,
Okay.
which are like pretty intense physical sports.
Cross country, long distance. How many miles you guys do? Like
I mean, a typical practice day, anywhere from like 3 to 8.
okay.
Yeah, it kind of depended on the day. But I was also like super anal, so I would try to, and I had an eating disorder, so I would try to do as much as possible, as fast as possible. I was really good for a period of time until I kept getting injured, but yeah, so yeah, just like diet culture stuff, and then I was eating less, and so I like lost weight at the same time that I had a growth spurt, plus I was like super active, so like my parents like noticed like a change in my appearance, and then I like broke my arm, which I had never broken anything in my life. Yeah, I like fell over. I tried to hop like one of those short fences that goes around the track.
Okay.
At school, I just like tried to climb over it. I don't even remember what happened because I blacked out because like I guess the pain was like too bad and my brain just blacked out. So I like don't have memory of like what even happened. But I woke up, I was just like I was 14, lying on the ground. Like I like didn't oh, it was so bizarre. So have you ever like woken up and you're like already screaming? Like you're screaming when
No.
So I like opened my eyes and I was screaming and I'm like, why am I screaming? And so I stopped screaming, and then because I didn't have any pain. And like my one shoelace was caught on like the top of the fence. So my leg was in the air, and then I was like looking up at the sky, and like it felt like this is the arm I broke. It felt like my arm was like at a 90-degree angle, like sticking up from the ground, but I could feel the grass or like the turf.
Oh,
And so I'm like,
so
something is not right here. And so I like, and then like these two girls like walked. I was like, what is happening? And then like I just saw two girls like in my periphery like kind of walk over, and one of them was like, oh my God, her shoulder, and they like both ran away. And then like, yeah, I don't know, I think they went to go get a teacher or something. Yeah, but so I was just like laying there.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was just laying there, and I was like just like confused. And then an ambulance came and stuff. So what happened was it's called your humerus bone.
Your funny bone, is that? No, okay.
No, that's your elbow.
Oh,
but
okay.
but
I
it's
got
called
excited. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's called your humerus, but it's like on the top part of your arm. What happened was it snapped, and like it.
She's pointing at your bicep. Whoever's not watching this on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, and so the bottom half of it, the part closer to my elbow, was kind of like jutting up, and it didn't poke through my skin, but it I don't believe in trigger warnings, so sorry. It kind of looked like my shoulder was dislocated because there was like a big bulge. But yeah. But so when they sat me up, it fell back into place, but it was still broken.
Okay. You weren't feeling any pain at this point? Because you woke up screaming with no pain.
Yeah, I didn't have any pain. It was completely numb. And then I was kind of in some pain when they put me on the stretcher and then into the ambulance, but then they gave me like laughing gas, so like that helped. And then
you became a comedian.
Yeah.
It's like I was like a superhero origin story.
It changed my brain. And then when I was in the ER at the hospital, they finally, after like hours, they were like, all right, we got to get this thing back into place. So they like had me sit up.
I hate this.
And I hadn't eaten anything since like noon, and it was like fucking like 9 or something at night. And so they sat me up, and my dad was like holding me, and the doctor was on the other side, and it like slid back into place, and I felt like I was gonna vomit. Like it was, oh my God, it was one of the worst sensations I've ever felt. But yeah, so that happened, and my parents were like, something's wrong. So they didn't really know what to do. They like took me to see a shrink, and then also like a dietitian. And then they tried to take me to like different treatment places. But I was like really in denial, and I would like lie to them all the time. So it was like really hard for them.
Your parents and the shrink? Did you get anything out of the shrink the first time?
Yeah, the first lady I saw, she actually did help me a lot. Like I learned like a lot of skills and stuff. I think I was actually like pretty willing with her. Yeah, but
is there certain things she pinpointed, or like, but you were still in denial, or?
So I would go in. I mean, I still go in and out of denial. That's how like any addiction like disease works. But I think at the time when I was seeing her, I was like more accepting of it. I think I was also seeing a dietitian at the same time because for some reason I trusted a dietitian more than my parents to tell me what to eat. Mm-hmm. So I would follow what the dietitian would tell me to do, but then I would like start to slip up, and I would just like.
What was he telling you? What kind of game plan did they have you on?
She.
But again, right?
Again. You fucking sexist.
Yeah, I'm Mexican. Typical. Okay.
No, well, actually, fun fact: like a lot of the people who work in the eating disorder fields are like women identifying, for some reason. But oh, she was just, I mean, she gave me like a meal plan, so I had to eat like a certain amount of food at every like meal and snack.
Okay.
Which I like did on and off. And like my parents were like pretty good at holding me accountable, but I would like, it was kind of like I would have like, I think how it worked, I'm trying to remember because it's been a while. I think it was like, every winter I would relapse, and then every spring I basically had to gain the weight back, and then I would like do well in cross country because that was in the fall, and then I would start swim team, and then I would like lose the weight.
What
again,
in the winter was there something specific in the winter that gets you
2-a-days for swim team
Okay.
were like a lot. And we would it was just a lot of physical activity. And I just wouldn't really eat when I was at school. I wouldn't really eat all day, and then I would go and swim for a couple hours, and then go home. And my parents gave me dinner, and I would eat like a fuck ton like before bed and stuff, but it wasn't like enough.
How do you feel about all these people fasting nowadays? It's like is this like a spit in the face of people with anorexia or eating disorders?
Intermittent fasting and stuff like that.
What does the ED community think of these? Us, I do it too.
You do intermittent fasting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, personally, I feel like everybody has to find what works for them when it comes with food. Like, if you have an eating disorder, you don't really have, like, the luxury of being able to, like, mess around with that kind of stuff.
Because it's like a drunk maybe having a little bit of liquor, right?
Yeah,
or something.
exactly.
Yeah. It's like, I'm just fasting for a little bit, okay? So I'm having one drink after a show.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to wake up in Kenosha.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But I was doing coke, too, that night, so.
Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was, so I actually have, like, at least one friend I know who does the intermittent fasting, and it seems to work for her. She has no history of ED, so, like, that's, if that's what she wants to do.
Like, I have a friend who does it, but the problem is, like, he'll eat really bad, and then he'll go on, like, in a 3-day fast, and then he'll go back to, like, just, like, eat until his stomach hurts. And, like, he has a bed. He bought one of those expensive beds that come up or whatever, so he can sleep and lay up, because I'll hear him. He's like, oh, no, it hurts, because he'll eat so much, right? And he'll get heartburn or whatever, and sits up so he could sleep, right? So because he can't, and then I was like, I just watch it. I was like, I can't believe, like, eats like double drive-throughs, whatever. Like, I'll find out. I'll get home and like, hey, can you bring me some food? I'll bring him something. He'll eat it, like some type of sweet. And I didn't know before that he went to McDonald's and got like 2 Arch Deluxes or something like that.
Yeah.
Or he'll do that all the time. He'll get food, and then he'll finish the fries, and then that one, and I'll bring food, and there's a pizza there, and then it's like, didn't you have like? Whatever.
Yeah.
So I see. Yeah. So it's like, I know somebody, but they're on the other side. I don't know what that's called. Binge. He's a binge eater.
I would say, I would say he's in the restrict binge cycle. I would say that's more chronic dieting.
Okay.
It's still it's disordered eating. I don't know if he has an eating disorder. But for that, I think it really depends on like your intention and your motivation. If you're like trying to like change your body, or you're doing it for some aesthetic reason, it's usually not gonna work out. Because we really don't have a lot of control over like what our body's like set point weight is. If you're like trying to make dietary changes to like, cause you're having like gut problems, or like, I don't know, if it's like to try to like feel better, or to just like feel like have more energy, whatever your goal is, however people figure out that working for them, I think is okay. I used to be more adamantly against like all forms of like fad diets or whatever. Now I'm more so, like even different cultures, like different countries, like they eat, differently than we do over here. So it's like different things work for different people.
So when you left, all right, you were leaving, you went to rehab for a little bit before you came to Chicago. What was it? How was your stint there?
So I was in rehab for 2.5 weeks.
Is this not in-house? Is that what it's called? When you live there?
Yeah, it's technically inpatient.
Inpatient.
Yeah, but you're not in the hospital. So that would be a higher level of care than residential. But I was in residential or rehab in Cleveland, Ohio. Oh no, see, I burped. And that was for 2.5 weeks. And that was in the summer of 2017 wait a minute. Yeah, summer of 2017, and that was before my last semester of college. And
then you came here?
Yeah, I came here like a year after that. Yeah, but that wasn't the first time I was ever in treatment. I was in treatment like a few different times before then, but I'd never been in like rehab before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is it? In March, you had the most recent treatment you went to?
Yeah, so March 10th of this year, I went to residential rehab in St. Louis. And I was in res for 10 weeks, and then I did PHP, which is partial hospitalization program. And that was like 12 hours a day, so I was staying in an apartment.
Okay.
And I did that for 8 weeks, I think, still in St. Louis. And then I did a week of IOP, which is intensive outpatient program. It was like 5 hours a day.
What kind of stuff do you guys do?
So it's a lot of different stuff. I mean, it's so with like eating disorder treatment, they put everybody on meal plans. Like the standard is like you eat 6 times a day.
What kind of food do they give you? I'm curious.
They gave us like a pretty good variety. We had at least at the place I was at in St. Louis, we had a chef. Both in res and like at the lower levels of care. So like chefs would like make our food. So it was different. I mean, sometimes we would have like pasta with like cheese and veggies.
Do they give you
like
stuff
a
like pizza and
salad.
things like that? Can you have like pizza?
Oh
and
yeah,
burger?
we
Okay.
had pizza a lot. We had burgers. We had pasta. We had like Asian cuisine as authentic as you can get. We had tacos. We had
The tacos, I'm assuming, had lettuce and cheese.
lettuce, cheese.
No cilantro, cebolla. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think you could put like salsa and sour cream. I think were optional.
There was some I was gonna bring. I freaked out a little bit. So as I worked, there was some food there. So there was like these chewy bars by the guy with the hat. Is it Quaker? The Quaker man? I don't know.
Quaker, yeah.
Quaker, right? And I was like, oh, I'm walking out. I was like, oh, let me grab 2 of these and bring them. Then I freaked out. I was like, I didn't know what to do because I was like, wait, can I bring food? And then I freaked out and I didn't want to bring it because I didn't want to be like, oh, here's I brought some food, some snacks, a chewy bar, and then you go off the rails. I don't know. How does that work? Like, I freaked out. If I would have brought that, would have been okay, or could that lead to, like?
That would have been fine. I mean, I would say with like the place I'm at, like, I mean that's like a kind gesture. Like, I mean.
And I was on my phone.
I probably just would have eaten it. I mean, I ate dinner before I came, so I'm not like hungry. But that's like part of just like intuitive eating and being flexible. Like if somebody offers you something and you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just eat this. But yeah, no, that would have been fine. I mean, I think in the past maybe I would have like internally like had some anxiety about it. And it definitely, I mean, I would still like have a little bit of like rumination maybe.
Would you just take it and hide it before and then throw it away, or?
I would either be like, no, thank you, or I probably wouldn't have eaten dinner before I came here in the past. So I probably would have been like starving. So I probably would have eaten it. But yeah. No, that would have been fine. I think like, I mean, so yeah, I get questions like that. A lot, like, you know, people aren't really sure like how to talk about food and stuff around me. Really, it's just kind of how you would just normally talk about food. And like if
Do you get the dinner with friends? Is that something you could do? Okay.
Yeah, I do that a lot actually. I cook with friends a lot, or I don't go out to eat a lot. 1, because of COVID, and 2, like money. But I'll have friends over and we'll cook together. Like I have roommates, so we'll cook together a lot. It's actually really helpful for me to eat with other people because then
Because you have to eat now because they're looking at you.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty like motivated, like intrinsically as well. So I don't really. Yeah, so it's definitely not as hard as it used to be, but it sometimes I still get in because I have like so many just different like, you know, rules that I used to have that like still buzz around in my head. So like sometimes it's just easier to like when somebody like cooks for me and serves me, I'm like, perfect, golden, I can do this. Like I don't even have to think about it. It's harder when I have to make my own food. So that's why I like cooking and eating with other people, because I'm like, all right, well, like get somebody else's input who like doesn't have a brain disease telling them that this is like wrong.
Let's say if you're gonna start cooking, if you start cooking something, do you tell yourself like, oh, I shouldn't have this or I shouldn't have that, and you start limiting yourself, or and you're like, and you freak out, or how does this?
A little bit. It's more like I try to like my eating disorder tries to like make sense of like what I'm eating, like to try to like it's like constructed a bunch of like, and I think these rules, I think parts of my eating disorder developed to like try to cope with the eating disorder because there was such like a strong aversion to food that I had to find any reason that I could to like eat food. So I like made all these like rules for myself. So it's like, okay, well, like, all right, well, you have this component, but now you still need a starch, but you can only have 2 servings of starch. You can't have like an extra one. So you could have this or you could have this, but like, oh no, but that's a little too much. But oh no, like you're trying like, like, oh, but like, where's the fat coming from? Okay, well, now you probably shouldn't add avocado because that's also a fat. Like, you know, I just like have like, or like, oh, like you haven't pooped a lot today, so make sure you get fiber. But oh, like you don't want to have like a protein source that's also a carb because that's too many carbs. So you can't have beans, but so you should have that tortilla because that's like a high fiber tortilla. But that's also sort of a diet product, and it's not, and it's your roommate, so maybe you should have bread. You know, it's just this constant like, you know, and I can like turn it off a lot easier now.
Mm-hmm. And so this comes from like back when you were young, as like thinking you were fat. Do you think you're?
Yeah, I definitely have like body dysmorphia. Mm-hmm. I thought I was fat in middle school. I mean, looking back, obviously, I'm like, no, I was really thin, but I hated my body. Like I hated myself. Like I would wake up every morning and just like dread being awake. So I'm like, God, now I'm awake in my body. Like I hate this. And I thought if I could just like lose enough weight, then I would be happy. And then I'm like, oh, then I'll eat whatever I want. Obviously, it doesn't work like that. But it's gotten like, I mean, I've been in a lot of therapy and a lot of treatment, so I see myself more accurately now. But every time I relapse, like I have to kind of like undistort my perception of myself. Yeah.
I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. Is it true? I heard it was a true story where you were driving, you had to change a tampon mid driving. Did that really happen, or was that just part of a bit?
That did happen. Yeah. I didn't have to. Part of me just I kind of just wanted to see if I could do it. And I didn't.
Is this highway driving or city street suburb driving?
It was in Columbus, Ohio. It was like on a one-way.
What kind of car was it? I'm curious if you remember.
A Pontiac Vibe.
It's so ugly. It's so ugly. Oh, pull up the Vibe, James. It's one of the ugliest.
It has a hatchback, though, which is convenient.
Very
we used
convenient.
to have a dog, so.
I miss my hatchback. Rest in peace, Pikachu. I got in a car accident June 24th and crashed totaled my Honda Fit yellow. It's a beautiful car, yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
There's a Dodge
Oh,
Vibe.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. A man can't drive that. It's like a mix between a minivan and, I don't know, the front looks.
Yeah. It was a silver one. I think there was a picture. Yeah, it's a little bit.
Hey, you know what's worse? What's the Aztec? Who made that? It's not as bad. I'm thinking of the Aztec. The Aztec was really horrible. Was it the Pontiac Aztec? Yeah. That one is
interesting.
How do you feel about the Aztec? Do you like it?
It just kind of looks like
It's kind of grown on me now. If it was a Pontiac, you know what? I take back everything I said.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have huge preference when it comes to
That's
cars.
not an Aztec. Sorry, you were driving. Oh, look, the Tesla truck. Click on it. Look, it's coming out. All right, sorry.
I don't know why I looked at your screen. It's exactly the same as my screen. Get a different perspective on life.
No. So you were driving. It was a challenge to yourself. I was like, hey, I'm gonna switch.
Yeah, see if I can do this. I also was kind of just panicking because I'd had it in for like 9 hours or something like that.
You're not supposed to. When I heard you talking about that, and I didn't know. I was like, how long? I thought they were like contacts, right? You just left them in there for days or something. So that's not true.
Yeah, no.
I don't know how the vagina works. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I don't either. I don't. I think you're only supposed to leave a tampon in for like 6 hours.
Okay.
Something like that. I don't use. I have a Diva cup or like a cup now, so I don't use tampons.
I've heard of that. I have no idea how any of that stuff works.
Yeah, it's just like this like rubber cup that you put up your vagina, and it like collects the blood in this like little goblet.
And you throw it at
thing,
somebody.
and then, yeah. And then you do like a shot. It's very environmentally friendly.
No. That's never happened. I had a girl one time. I was I think it was in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. We were up drinking, me and my buddy, and his girl he was with, and his girl was drunk at the time. And I remember, like, we were both drunk, and I was trying to have sex, and it wasn't like working. And I was like, I couldn't go in. And then I was like, what's going on? And she was like, oh, yeah, wait, hold on. She had a tampon on. She's like, give me a second. I remember she put her hand and then she like took it out and then like flung it to the side. And she was like, go ahead. And I was just like, nah, I'm gonna pass now.
Are you one of the guys who doesn't like
No, I love period sex.
Oh,
but
okay.
it was weird out there because in that moment I thought
yeah.
like, you know what? Like the way she put it, I was like, you know what? I think she's too drunk. I'm drunk. And I was like, it was more of that. It was just because she did it like very like, she was like, oh, wait, no, wait, hold on. Like she forgot, right?
Yeah.
That she had it.
Oh,
More
so
because
you're
of the
like,
drunk
that's
thing.
a sign. Yeah, it's a sign this person isn't
It's too drunk.
lucid. Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm going to go and eat. Her grandpa had a bunch of everything in the kitchen was very old and everything was wrapped in bacon. Like the whole, he was a race. And there was a lot of spam because he used to race for spam, I think. Like it was sponsored by spam.
The house was sponsored by Spam.
He was a race car driver, the grandpa. We were in his house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I remember she took it and I was like, And when I saw that, I was like, you know what, this is not something that I want to, I was like, hey, it freaked, but no, I prefer period sex.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if, James?
It's fun.
I've never had, or I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had period sex.
No.
I don't know if it feels different for the girl. I think you can orgasm more easily.
But yeah, because a friend told me that women are more horny before their period. They told me the other day. I don't know. I'm 36. There's so much learning I'm doing. I don't know what's going on.
I have a fun story I'll tell you about period sex after the podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, James is going to tell.
Yeah.
You don't want to tell us now?
No.
Okay. But no. All right. So when you came, do you like Chicago? Have you? Because look, I saw you. All right. So I saw you. I think I saw you in the mics in the beginning, and then I saw you was like, I feel like I saw you. I don't want to say grow, but I did. I was like, oh shit, and I was like, oh okay. Like, I don't know how long have you been doing stand up.
Like 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been in Chicago for 2 years. I love it. I mean, the first.
Do you want to stay? Do you want to move? Do you want to?
I don't want to stay forever. I did sign on for another year of my lease, and then I'm going to reassess when that's like coming to an end. I don't really know where like the move is like New York or LA. I was leaning more towards New York. But I don't know if I really want to like follow the traditional path or like the path that everybody says to follow.
What have you been doing? So you've this treatment that you were just in? Are you still in it? Are you in like so?
Yeah, I'm in IOP still. So I go to a place 4 days a week for like 4 hours a day. So yeah, so I'm still in treatment. So I think I've been in treatment this time like 6 or 7 months now, since March. I don't know. Something like that.
I'm going to ask you a question. It's not related, but I was talking to my friends the last 2 days about it. It's a lottery question. I don't know. Did you ever play this game with your friends?
Oh, if you won the
lottery.
If you won the
lottery.
what you would do.
They all get mad at me because I'd be like, I'd like, what I say, something about jeans. I need jeans. And then I'd get like a Japanese toilet. And I think, well, I'll ask you first. If you won the lottery, $200 million net, that's after taxes, right? This is what you're getting.
$200 million, okay.
Yeah. What if you want? You know what? I'll let you think about it. I'll tell you what I would do with the money. First of all, out of spite, I wouldn't give my sister any money. So I don't even play the lottery, right? Oh, you met my sister. She's been on the podcast. I don't play the lottery, but part of me thought today is like maybe I get a ticket just in case I win to not give her anything. Anyways, nothing. She gets nothing. So my stuff was simple. Pay off my mom's house, right? And then look for a house for her, but make her pay taxes on it. I don't want to give it to her for free.
Okay.
Because I feel when you give stuff for free, they don't take care of it. And it's like, I don't know, it goes up. Yeah. So buy a house. I want a Japanese toilet. Those are the ones that clean your ass.
What, like a bidet?
But they're supposed to be more advanced. Like there's other features like warm, there's sprays like a bidet. But
most bidets have that though.
Huh? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so a bidet.
The one that we have does.
You have a bidet?
Well, it was not my idea.
You won the lottery, in my opinion.
Yeah,
okay.
no, it's a bidet attachment. So you.
Oh, the Tushy, right? The Tushy isn't like $100. Okay, but something like that. Right?
I don't know the brand actually, but I don't really use. I think I've used it maybe a few times, but my roommates wanted to get one, so they use it. But it there's like two.
Is when you guys ran out of toilet paper, or?
No, it was a while before actually. There's two jets. There's a front jet and a back jet, but like you have to make sure you like position yourself right so that it like lines up right.
Oh, okay.
Or else it'll just
Right.
like spray your lower back or like that's what it did for me. You know, a lot of times people think that the bidet button is like the flush button, so like they'll get sprayed by it. We threw like a party at our house, like a pretty big party in January, and everybody kept pressing the bidet button, so like the floor was like really wet because water kept spraying everywhere, and everybody was like in their underwear.
Somebody's probably been drunk and then been thrown up in a bidet toilet and just sprayed themselves in the face.
Probably,
I'm guessing,
yeah.
Right? And it kind of
yeah.
cleans you out because you know.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it's actually very convenient for if you're.
I thought about that. I mean, I wouldn't do it. The toilet water is, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'd do that. I'd pay that off.
Okay.
I wouldn't get a watch because this cashew's been working pretty good for me, so I wouldn't get a watch.
Yeah.
I'd get a new phone because my iPhone, ever since this updates happened, my iPhone has been glitching, and I'm going to the Apple Store tomorrow. I have an appointment. It took a week. I was like, can somebody look at my phone? They're like, no, next week. And I was like, okay. So I'd get a new phone. I'd get the new iPhone, the bigger X one, because I like the calculator. It's bigger.
Yeah.
And you could touch it easier because I always mess
Okay.
up when I use the calculator.
Okay.
And jeans. I want to get two new pairs of jeans, but I want to find something durable because I always mess up this back left pocket because I put my keys in there.
Yeah, it's so hard to find a good pair of jeans.
So any jean recommendations, DM me. I'm looking for jeans. I'm buying the Mountain Bow ones, but I don't know. I'm tough on my stuff.
Yeah.
There was something else. Jeans. Maybe a new laptop. I said James, I'd still record at James' studio to support him, right? But next year I'd buy a house.
Okay.
I hate moving, so I'd wait and get a house.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'd buy that. There's a table at IKEA that goes up and down. You push a button. It's like this big, but you push it and it goes up and down. I want that table.
Oh, like a standing desk.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like if you do drugs, people, you can do coke.
Oh yeah.
So it's
more
pretty cool,
convenient,
and you can
yeah.
work. So you could be party mode, work mode.
Mm-hmm.
There was something else. I'm trying to think something else to do a lottery. Oh, I'd get I wouldn't buy a new toothbrush. I have an electric toothbrush because I'd feel like mine's fine, but I get the new heads for it. I feel like I'm missing something. I can't think of anything else. What would you do? Is that it? Man, I forgot. I've been talking about this for 2 days, and now I don't remember what I would do if I would want. I'd invest some of the money and stuff, and then
you gotta like put some.
I just
in
got
the
new
stock
shoes, so I don't need
market.
shoes, and then that's it. I can't think of anything else. What would you do if you won $200 million net?
I probably wouldn't change much in terms of my lifestyle. I wouldn't really like worry about like eating out and shit. Like I'd probably go out and get ice cream more.
What flavor?
I really like coconut and like cheesecake flavor. That's really
Is there a
good.
specific spot you go to, like Cold Stone or?
No, so wherever I go, I usually try to find like what seems like the most unique flavor. There's this, oh my God, lamichoacana. Have you ever been there?
Is it Asian?
No, it's Mexican.
Oh. Wait,
Yeah.
you're probably just saying it in a white way, right?
Yeah.
Lamichoacana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lamichoacana. Yeah, I love that spot.
Yeah. And I used to live in Albany Park.
What'd you call it?
Lamichoacana.
Lamichoacana way, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
pink.
if that's.
It's pink, yeah. They're all pink.
Yeah.
Go to Images, you'll all be pink.
There's one in Albany Park, and they have the best ice cream that I've had in Chicago, like, and probably ever. But they have a cheese flavored ice cream. It's so good. It's like queso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I always get stuff from my mom and my sister. She gets the mango with the chamoy on top. I get the corn, you know what I mean? The Mexican corn with the
elote,
mayonnaise.
yeah.
Those raspada, the shaved ice. I used to love those as a kid. I don't know what that pineapple thing is, but they do that too in the paletas ice cream. What they do is they get the Cheetos, they put the cheese on it, and they put other stuff, and they put pork on top of this other thing.
Oh, like a walking taco.
I think so. I don't know those terms. All right, so you'd go to Michoacana to get ice cream. To get cheese.
I'd take everybody to Michoacana.
La Michoacana. And get
Michoacana.
cheese ice cream. Okay.
Yeah, to get cheese ice cream. I'd take all my friends. And then I'd probably try to well, there's already organizations that do this, but they raise money for people to get treatment for eating disorders. So
Okay.
I'd probably because insurance companies are so stupid. I'd probably donate a large sum of it to that.
To organization. Is there specific organizations? If people want to, I don't think I have any rich listeners, but nope, I don't. But
the only one that I can think of is Project Heal.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, they raise money for people to get treatment. Yeah, so I'd definitely do that. If any of my friends had like any debt or anything, I'd pay that off for them. And I definitely want to travel. I definitely literally anywhere. Well, not.
What's the first spot? Let's uncovid it.
I'd probably start somewhere in Europe just so that the language barrier wasn't a thing right away. Probably I don't know. My one, I have a friend who travels a lot, so I'd probably just ask him.
I'd go to El Paso. I don't know why, but there's these, I don't know, it's by the desert, and for some reason I feel like I'd like it there with the Mexicans there. They're Chicano like me, or I don't know, something about it. Like I grew up over here, and then when I come to Chicago and I meet the Mexicans here, they're like Mexican, but they're their own. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, but I saw that. I go to El Paso and have these tacos that are dipped in the sauce. They don't even look that good, but I want to try them out. And then, man, there was something else. They pay for my friend's AC. Their AC's broken.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I pay
good.
for that. Hey, James, what would you do? $2 million net. What's up?
I would buy a production complex for Chicago comedy and probably move all of my operations there. I'd also probably fucking live there, buy a comedy club. I got plans, dude. I got plans. For stuff.
And I wouldn't. I think that's all I can think of. All right, I can't. Man, I'm forgetting. I got the bidet. I got the bidet. I don't need a watch.
You got the shoes? Did you say
I
shoes?
just bought shoes last week,
just,
so I can't.
Yeah, you're good.
I mean,
your phone.
I need a belt. I want to get a new belt.
Belt. Oh,
This belt has like a.
Should I have said something like I'd go to the fucking McDonald's to get something off the dollar menu or something? Like, were you guys kidding? Like, is this?
I want to eat better.
Should I have been funnier with it, or should I have been serious?
I'm serious.
Okay. All right.
No, I'm dead serious.
I'll buy you new toothbrush heads. That's what I'll do.
Oh wow, thank you, dude.
You're
I get the
welcome.
Philips Sonicare.
Okay, word.
Okay.
I got you.
Damn. Electric toothbrush. I used to have. I think I've slowly.
I bought mine from a crackhead. That's how I got mine.
Really?
Well, I used to live in these apartments called the Towers in Waukegan. Really bad housing projects. I lived there for like 7 years until they found out I had a job, and they put me in their office and they're like, "What are you've been working?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta go." And we dipped out. But I remember I was in the refrigerator and the elevator that would always lock up on you too. Like you'd go. There's so many times you get stuck in it. The door would be slow. It'd stop, and you wait for it to open, and sometimes it just wouldn't. So you'd be there for a few minutes. Yeah.
Wow.
It'd break all the time. Yeah, it was pretty ghetto. But I remember this crackhead was in there. He was like, "Man, I got this toothbrush," and it was an electric Philips Sonicare, and I was like, "No, I'm good." He's like, $20. I was like, "No." I was like, "How about 10?" So I got my $10, and then. After that one went down, after that I couldn't go back to regular ones.
Yeah.
Because this crackhead sold me the toothbrush, so I never went back. What was your electronic toothbrush
I don't
story?
remember. I was like a child. My parents, my sister and I both had them, I think, because my parents cared about our teeth. But I think I've slowly downgraded as I've gotten older. I just have a normal one now.
I don't even know what normal is like. Do you have any?
Yeah.
I don't know, plugs or not, I don't know anything going on. Plugs?
Like hair plugs?
No plugs. Let's start with social media. What's your social media? If you'd like to plug it.
Oh, my social. Okay, yeah. So actually, I'm so since going to rehab, I didn't really have access to my phone there, so I wasn't. I kind of
How's that like? That sounds good.
Oh, it was so nice. I broke my addiction to social media too. It was great. So I really don't go on social media that much anymore. Plus, I just watched The Social Dilemma, so now I'm all
I haven't seen it
paranoid.
yet.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, it's so good.
My friend saw it. Okay. With the binge eater.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
He's probably eating as he's watching it, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was really good. But what was I talking? Oh yeah, plugs.
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook. just Evelyn Troutman. And then I have an Instagram, which I might delete at some point. But my handle is at @evtrout.
Is there a reason you want to delete it?
I want to get off social media completely. I really just have it now for comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to get a website and then just delete it because it's just, I don't know.
Oh, wow. People can't DM you on a website. I do like that. Even though DM me and I respond, but I hate it, but I do it. I always respond. So
yeah, Facebook Messenger is very convenient.
You're a girl in comedy in Chicago. A lot of creepy, yeah, right? Is it a lot of creepy messages or no?
Sometimes.
Like, oh, I want to book you on the show.
Well,
and then it goes, it crosses the line, yeah.
Crane's butter seemed kind of creepy, but, well, also, I couldn't really remember who you were either. Whenever somebody I don't really know message, I didn't think you were creepy. You didn't seem creepy at all, but I just didn't really know who you were. Whenever somebody I don't really know messages with me, I'm like, I don't really know, but, no, people are pretty good about not being. Well, I'll get like, Facebook has that thing where it's like, if somebody who you're not friends with tries to message you, it goes into like a separate messaging inbox. So I'll get like spam stuff in there sometimes. But.
Okay, but none of your friends are on Facebook or creep messaging you. I tried to send whenever I send a lady a message, I try to keep it extra professional. I try to make it seem as
uncreepy as
yeah,
possible.
as uncreepy as possible.
I thought yours was
pretty uncreepy.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Honestly, my biggest.
Not my Snapchat stills are horrible.
Your
that's
Snap.
Yeah. Where I snap. Well, that's where I like. It's a whole different life. Professional life. My personal life is.
Yeah.
Hot
You're
mess.
on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a hot mess. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, this girl just sent me that.
It's causing you a lot of angst.
Yeah. I don't want to talk too much. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I thought we're cool, like not talking anymore, and then she was like, "Oh, we are again." And then,
yeah.
I don't know.
Hard when
Dead
people
ass. Remember? Okay, but
people don't respect your boundaries.
dead ass. Yeah. Dead ass messaged me today, but I don't know.
Should follow up with that.
That's a whole thing. Any more plugs? Anything else you want to tell the world? And then I'll do my dumb plugs.
So I produce not now, but I produce a rap battle comedy show with my one roommate Bobby. He goes by Sukhjit Singh. Well, Sukhjit's his name, but I call him Bobby. But so we produce Rap Transit. So I don't know when that's gonna start up again. I have not been keeping our accounts up to date at all. So if you look for it, there will be nothing interesting recently. But we had one show back in February. That was pretty fun.
Okay, I'll plug the Lobo podcast on Instagram. Again, James Webb, People of Comedy Studio. If you want to do a podcast or something, and does it matter if they have talent or as long as they pay you?
Just pay me.
Just pay him. Doesn't matter. He'll record you. And then if you like, subscribe. If you do when you write a review, I'll read it for you. I got a new one from shout out to Sideshow Panda. She has a really cool Instagram. It's a bunch of pictures of her in a panda suit that her ex-boyfriend was a photographer, would just take of her. So like she found me through B's podcast, and now she's I don't know. I feel we're friends. We were talking about Ken Steele today because she's like, "Does he really do porn?" I was like, "Forwarded the Instagram." I was like, "Look, told you." Yeah, it was a comedian who used to be in Chicago. Now he does porn. And
good for him.
if you want some stickers, I'll give you a sticker. Please DM me. I'll send you a sticker. I got magnets too. I feel like there's more I should say, but I don't know. Don't get people pregnant.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if your name is Joe Ideas. All right, Lobo Den.
Lobo Den.